along that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. I really hate to trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool. I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night saying prayers in the street. Like we've been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life, I was raised by the streets, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind, got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banger, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger, fool. Death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life do or die, what can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We've been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? The ones we hurt are you and me. Some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this bullshit three-ring circus sideshow freaks. Here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, I'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Fret for your figure, and fret for your latte, and fret for your lawsuit, and fret for your hairpiece, and fret for your Prozac, and fret for your pilot, and fret for your contract, and fret for your car. It's a bullshit three-ring circus sideshow freaks. Here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, I'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still. Follow I sure could use a vacation from this stupid shit, silly shit, stupid shit. One great big festering neon distraction. I've a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. Cause Mom's gonna fix it all soon. Mom's coming around to put it back the way it ought to be. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Fuck going hover and front all his clones. Fuck all these gun-toting hip gangster wannabes. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still. Follow the beat, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshit, full of perfect and felt bullshit. Through or through anything. Fuck your tattoos. Fuck all you junkies and fuck your short memories. Yeah. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Yeah, fuck smiley glad hands with hidden agendas. Fuck these dysfunctional insecure actresses. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. Oh, cause I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves. I wanna see the ground give way. I wanna watch it all go down. Mom, please flush it all away. I wanna see it go right in and down. I wanna watch it go right in. Watch it flush it all away. Yeah, time to bring it down again. Yeah, don't just call me pessimist. Try and read between the lines. I can't imagine why you wouldn't welcome any change, my friend. I wanna see it come down, put it down, suck it down, flush it down. to see me. Read underneath the dead man's hand again. I see it in your eyes. Take one look and die. The only thing you see, you know it's gonna be the ace of spades. The ace of spades. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I keep looking for something I can't get. Broken thoughts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. A diary, it sits by the bedside table. The curtains are closed, the cat's in the cradle. Who would have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said.
Welcome, my friends, to XboxEra. If you're new here, let me fill you in. XboxEra is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of XboxEra. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. XboxEra is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, The Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to XboxEra to another level. Krat56, an assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only XboxEra's CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content XboxEra produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/XboxEra, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of XboxEra Headlines. The date is January 30th. I'm Jon, and today Jesse and I will be taking you through all of the latest in gaming news from across the video game industry. As a bonus for our wonderful and incredible patrons, we make audio versions of these episodes available for them to listen to in Patreon using their preferred app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your accounts to your Patreon account and listen to it there instead. It's very nice.
They said you're a robot. I might have to make it desktop audio for some reason.
I'm hoping I'm not a robot.
All right.
Is it fixed?
No, it won't be fixed. Give me a sec. I need to go into the settings and turn desktop audio on for this one. Beep, boop, beep, boop. It's always weird how that just randomly happens. Okay, desktop audio. Boop.
Testing.
Oh, you're going to be blown out. Okay, go now.
Testing. Let us know, chat. Am I still an X-bot? Better. Great. I'm going to do the whole intro again so that for the audio version, Jesse can edit it.
I'm not going to edit anything. It's funny.
What? Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of XboxEra Headlines. The date is January 30th. Today, we'll be talking through all of the latest in gaming news from across the industry. We make these episodes available to our patrons as a special audio version bonus for Patreon members only. You can link your Spotify account to your Patreon account, listen to it there instead. If you want to become legend, head to patreon.com/XboxEra, where you can sign up and help keep us alive and stuff. Hi, Jesse. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm having a horrible eczema flare up. Now, I know that people that like to mock those with skin conditions, like Tom Henderson, would mock me.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
You know, he would and has. But often if I'm ever wearing shades, even if it's at night, it's because I've had a massive eczema flare up and my eyes are like teeny little squinty things and everything hurts. Like right now, my skin is very blotchy and bad. So I feel for me, if anyone listening has a skin condition like psoriasis or eczema, just know I understand and I empathize and it's going to be okay. We get through this together.
It's going to be okay. I say that 15 times, then I hug you, and then you cry.
Is that because
it's not your fault?
It's going to be. Okay.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You ever see Good Will Hunting? All right.
Don't do this to me, Sean. I was going to. If you kept going, I was just going to go along and do the whole thing, and I'd start shoving you and stuff. You know.
And I could shake my table so my camera's moving.
Yeah. It's not your fault. Anyways, hey folks, it's Thursday, which means it's coming up towards the end of the week. And you might think that there's been enough news. There's no more news to be had, but you always, in this industry, be very wrong. There is always video game news, even in the quiet periods.
Fucking a shit ton. There's so much I didn't put in. People are like, how come you didn't talk about this? Because there's 15 things and we try and do it in an hour.
Yeah. And we have to do it now because I have a meeting in exactly 56 minutes. So let's get cracking. First up, let's all celebrate and give this guy particularly a big pat on the back because XboxEra is now officially a top critic on aggregate website Opencritic, which is really, really lovely. We had a communication from them that basically was like, you know, we've reviewed your work. It's thorough, it's diligent. You've posted a fantastic number of reviews, over 735 reviews on Opencritic since we launched. And we're accepted as being.
You were correct. It is over 735. It's 736.
I know. I know because there was one released like yesterday or something. And yeah, they've rewarded us for our hard work and effort with top critic status, which can only mean one thing. Mega boost!
It is funny that people, and it's the thing that kills me because Opencritic is everyone's worth the exact same as long as you're a top critic. Metacritic is the one that gives weighting, and you have no idea what that weighting is. So now when a big game drops and there's, say, 80 top critics, we will be 1/80th of that instead of 0% like we were in the past. Despite what people like Jason Schreier was saying, Starfield only reviewed well because of the Xbox sites, and like there's people online who like saying that we mega boost stuff up when we did not actually count at all before. So it's fun.
Yeah, I'm just seeing BT Maverick in the chat saying I sound like I'm underwater. I'm hoping he's just starting from the beginning of the show. You know, like, and he's catching up.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll find out. Yeah, I was surprised. I put a tweet out. I was expecting some innocuous, annoying Twitter user to write some sort of lengthy essay type post with analysis and breakdowns of all of our review numbers and where we lean. Haven't seen it yet, but we've read it before and we don't care. We do our jobs. We're proud of our work. And it's nice to be recognized by that organization. you must be pleased, right? I know that you've often been bewildered at
I'm still bewildered. I do think the difference now is Opencritic was bought by, I believe, Valnet, and the new owners want to fix it up, spruce it up, get it all going. They're going to actually just automatically add things in, so we don't have to add them. They're going to add games. They're going to get our reviews scraped off the website and up on there. So, because right now Opencritic is 100% manual. Every single review you see up there before it was bought was one of us from any website that's covering anything first creating the game if it didn't already exist, and then adding our own stuff. So that's why I like it,
which is crazy
because anybody can do it. Anybody can be there, but then only the top critics mattered for the actual score that everyone looks at. So now we do count for that score, and that website does seem to want to be a lot better. So
yeah. And it's interesting as well because, and I have to give them a shout out. I did write an article on this last week. The folks over at TechRaptor, I think the CEO there, has started a new venture and is launching today. And I think within the next couple of hours, it might be live by the time that we've wrapped up, launching Critic DB, which is a new aggregate website designed to take on Opencritic and Metacritic. With a big focus on, preventing review bombing and scraping top websites and stuff. We are on the list, and it's interesting, you mentioning that Opencritic are going to be coming in and, doing the work instead of the websites doing the work, because in order to enable Critic DB, we actually built our own API that they can access and pull our data from to make their lives easier. And I think when we were discussing this internally, one of the changes we might make to our review plugin is, like everybody kind of writes their summary outgoing paragraph, like final words.
Except for Fairy, who normally has an entire thesis at the end of his.
Fairy is Fairy. He does how he pleases. But we were talking about actually making that final summary paragraph be a part of the review plugin in some form, because that would make sense. But we then might have to retroactively go in and add it back into 736 reviews, which would be a task, I'm sure.
I guess it was because we had an older one for
we still probably haven't caught up on all the old ones.
We never touched the majority of them.
So, yeah, some work to do. But congratulations to Critic DB for launching today, whenever they do. And many thanks to Opencritic for recognizing all of the hard work that the team has put in, particularly Jesse. And I say that knowing that the rest of the team might be like, oh, why does Jesse get the shout out? They know why. Right? It's that simple.
Somebody asked if I had done half. I have not done half. I've done 1/3 of those 700.
Yeah, it's still a damned impressive number of reviewed games. So, yeah, there you go. That's some good Xbox Era related news to start the week off. It's our show. We can do what we like. Next up is the actual big headline of the week, which is, it's Microsoft's second quarter fiscal year 2025 results. What fun, says I. It's not fun. Where do we start here, Jesse? Let's start with the thing that everybody focuses on, because of course they do. Hardware is down 29%, I believe, year over year. Are we shocked by this revelation?
No, because they said 3 months ago they thought it would be down even more. So every time they do one of these, they give guidance. Yes. And again, if you want to know, their guidance for the next quarter is also hardware is going to be down year over year. But the actual amount it was down is a little less than they were thinking. And the amount that the revenue was down, which was what, 7%? I forget. Is exact. They said they would be down single digits, and they said they should be up low single digits. So pretty much they're really good at knowing how much money they're going to make, and they ended up doing a little better than they thought they were going to. But when you look at it on its face, it's down, and people are like, uh-oh. And it's like, that's kind of what they were expecting. They were expecting it to. Yeah. They have definitely de-emphasized selling hardware for this generation. One of the main things they said was straight up Satya Nadella just stating, we're focusing on the things that make money and not the things that lose money. Like getting higher margins is their goal over, because this is now the essentially you lower all the costs on hardware to try and get the casual audience in time of a generation, and they're just not doing that this time. And it really doesn't sound like they are going to subsidize hardware heavily in the future, which I don't think any of them are going to do.
First generation I can think of where we haven't seen a big price cut. Like, this is about the time, and there is a part of me that wonders, Switch 2 rocks up, maybe in and or around that release date, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles get a little price cut to make them more attractive. But it's an interesting set of numbers. So we've got a 29% drop in Xbox console sale hardware. But on the plus side, a significant boost to Game Pass, which made more money, I think, in the last kind of 3 months of last year than in any previous quarter, with a significant increase of subscribers on PC.
Hope so, because the price went up.
Yes.
But yeah, it jumped up
PC
30%.
Subscriber base went up by 30%, which is great. Presumably Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is a huge part of that.
Yeah, they seem to be intimating that Call of Duty did a lot better than they thought it would, because they're unsure. Yes. It's the first time one of the biggest games of the year goes into their subscription service. I believe they said it was the top-selling game for both PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Chris String had an article where there was some data estimate numbers that said like the majority of spend was on for Xbox in their whatever their bucket was. I don't know. It's not actual data, but it's estimates of data. And he's like, yep, it kicked ass on PlayStation. It was over like 60% of Microsoft's revenue that they could see, of 500 million for a month, which if you go over the yearly, and if they're looking to make 24 billion in a year, 500 million is not 2 billion, which would be what they would make every month. So who knows what data buckets they have or whatnot, but everyone just ran with that because it's a fun headline.
Yeah. I also, Satya Nadella dropped a little nugget, just a little bit of salsa. 4 million players for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is great. Right. And I actually saw this comment on Twitter, and it, it's like that advert. This is your brain on drugs. The tweet was, and it was a serious tweet. And they just talk about players, but what about the sales?
We got a lot of responses to that on Proven's PC thing, and it's like, I mean, you got to realize it's both for them. Are they happy? Is Disney happy? Then you know that it's then okay. Like if they go ahead and
the fact that, we had the rumor, didn't we, that Disney pretty much picked up the phone and allegedly were like, more please, Wolfenstein development team. And I hope we get more, because if I can think of a way for the Indiana Jones franchise to continue, it's like this. I mean, what a delight that game was. If you haven't watched my review, go watch it. It's a good one. Overall, though, nothing too unexpected. It is. I understand are they just not going to, they just don't care. They're just not going to do anything about it. I snore when I sleep. I saw a clip of Snowbike Mike, who's really struggling.
I know.
Over on Kind of Funny, really struggling with Xbox's new vision. I feel like we need to have him on the show to kind of calm him down a bit, because he's surrounded by PlayStation fans. We need to bring him in house and just have a little chat with Snowbike Mike and get him feeling okay again, because it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yep.
We're
in a situation where none of us have actually seen exactly what they're doing. We've only seen rumors of what they're doing as they ramp up, and it can be scary when they're just ramping up. They're not doing, and so that is weird. We're waiting. What is the doing going to actually be?
I hate waiting mode.
Yeah,
I'm in waiting mode for like a million different things at the moment, and I hate it because I want them all. I want to fast forward time until they all arrive all at once, and I can be like, ah. But yeah, waiting mode is the worst. I'll tell you what isn't the worst though. Liking this show, just taking some time out of your day. If you're on your mobile phone watching us at work when you should be working, and maybe you've got us kind of tuned into a little corner of your work desktop screen, and you should be doing your spreadsheet, but instead you're listening to us gather on about games. Well, take a moment and just move your cursor or slide your thumb and just hit that like button, because the algorithm demands it off you. Next up in news, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox made a bit of a boo-boo this week by accidentally advertising Game Pass and suggesting that it's included World of Warcraft. Now, some amusing anecdotes on this, right? So this happened, and Jesse rightly reported on it because, whoa. And as we were reaching out to email Microsoft for like, hey guys, are you aware you did this? They spotted our tweet on this very subject and said, our bad. Blizzard's World of Warcraft was accidentally included in a Game Pass email, even though it's not available with the service. A correcting email will be sent to those that got the original email soon.
It was also listed as on console in that in that advert. It had the little console icon. I was like, oops.
Yeah, whoopsie daisy. Now, let's put our tinfoil hats on.
Ooh.
You got them on?
Mm-hmm.
Fixed on firm? What if this was a false flag operation to ascertain and gauge demand for World of Warcraft on console? Because I think, judging by the 50,000 clicks on that article alone, there may be some appetite to have World of Warcraft on console. I'm just saying, Microsoft, I don't care. I'm never going to touch it with a 10-foot barge pole with zero interest. But clearly, the audience are like, that would be good. So, you know,
the other thought people had is
taking part.
They accidentally put it in too early. That it is coming, but they messed up. But also, there's no way because it costs $15 a month for World of Warcraft. They're not putting that into a $20 a month service.
Sorry, my tinfoil hat. I fell off before you went another level of conspiracy deep.
Just like there's never been more people playing the game. They're not going to put it into Game Pass. I can't see it.
Cost-wise, it's just not the one, is it?
And that's why I reported they advertised it, and then one particular person got very mad saying, oh, nice accuracy, Xbox. I'm like, yes, I was correct. They did. They advertised it in Game Pass.
They did advertise this.
Then I updated it when they said, oops, sorry, our bad. Not, no, you're wrong. They said, our bad. So, yeah, you know, people.
Well, those sorts of people should wind their necks in, I say, sir. But yes, interesting experiment there, right? I think there is clearly an appetite. I don't know why. Like, I don't imagine armies of World of Warcraft players downing tools on their rigs and loading up an Xbox. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the fact that they could be at work and, you know, go do something on cloud would create a sense of anticipation and appetite for something.
Yeah, it's there. I think people have modded it to have the ability to use a controller, but it's definitely not something that's been a thing in the actual game itself. So,
but yes, there you go. Oopsie daisy, no harm done. Everything's okay. Next up in news, Sony have had a little chair shuffle. They've been playing some musical chairs, and one man took all. Hiroki, this is bad. I'm going to say this instead. Hiroki Totoki. That's how I'm going to say it, because I could say Hiroki Totoki, which
his name.
I feel like isn't his name. I don't feel like that's accurate.
Well, in Japan, it would be last name first.
Hiroki Totoki.
Totoki Hiroki would be his name. You would say the familial name first in Japan.
Oh, well, what do I know? He's been named the corporate CEO. They did have two CEOs with Mr. Herman Hulst.
Well, no, Totoki
sharing was. The seat. Yeah, I know.
They had three CEOs. Totoki was above Nishino and Hulst. Totoki has now moved up to a Sony level, like corporate boardroom level CEO.
The big boss.
Nishino has moved up to Totoki's spot while keeping his old spot, and Herman Hulst has, I believe, lost the CEO title but kept the exact same job.
Yeah, but I mean, what does this mean for the Horizon Forbidden West remaster?
Nothing.
I don't know.
He's still in charge of this.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's all going to be okay. Yeah, interesting. interesting.
It was always called temporary after Jim Ryan left.
Yeah.
So,
and it's worth saying that this new layup of employee roles isn't taking place until April 1st, I think, in terms of when it all kicks in. But isn't it interesting? I think Nishino did say that he wanted to see, a better management of studios and more stable investments in terms of revenue coming in through the door.
Their main thing, and Totoki was all over it, was they make an insane amount of money and then they spend an insane amount of money, and they want to keep more of what they earn. The exact same thing Nadella pretty much and Amy Hood have pretty much said about Xbox. We make enough.
It would be very interesting.
Keep more of it.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if this means a more PC focus from Sony going forward.
I think the only issue, and even the reason games like Avowed and whatnot aren't day and date on everything, for Sony, day and date on PC will be once they figure out how to do it correctly. Because even Square's still struggling. Like that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth PC port has a lot of issues. It's less than... So Remake was horrible. 16 was rough, and 7 Rebirth is less rough, but still rough. So when you don't have the internal infrastructure to do it, when you're a tiny place like Compulsion Games, when you're Naughty Dog and you want to do your own Last of Us PC port, and it doesn't go very well, like those are things that we need to figure this out. Let us buy Nixxes, who are really good at that type of stuff, and now they will help us. But Nixxes can't help everyone all at once, so yeah, they've got to build up to it. But I definitely think anything live service, they've already stated, would be day and date PC, and eventually, as we see with Spider-Man coming, I think today, like shorter and shorter time frames on their single player stuff until it's most likely day and date as well.
Yeah, I would bet money on it. It's going to be an interesting journey, I think, the rest of this generation as we lead into whatever the future holds for these behemoth corporations and their video game platforms. But I look back at one of the recent videos I did, one of the talk to the camera opinion pieces. It's not about exclusives anymore. It's about ecosystems. And to that very point, PlayStation made some adjustments to their ecosystem approach, as now several of their PC games have been adjusted to be played without a PlayStation ID. So if you remember, cast your minds back, Helldivers 2 doing fantastic. The PSN ID stuff was disabled when it launched, and then they enabled it. It effectively was asking customers who had bought the game in countries where PlayStation IDs were not allowed to lie, which is against the PlayStation ID's terms of service, which made no sense, right? So now they're trying to give PC players incentivizing adding and creating a PlayStation ID by giving them stuff that links to their PlayStation Network account. It's a worthy approach, I think, and it's perhaps a compromised middle ground for what they really want and trying to find a way to get there.
Yeah, they really wanted their MAUs up, but and then when you have to sign in, they know you're playing it, they know what your MAU is and all that type of stuff, and they feel like they pull you into the ecosystem more. But on Steam, where they're almost everywhere versus you who are not with your IDs, it does make it pretty rough on just trying to buy the game for some people.
So yeah, I mean, that's good. So I think, what were the games that they stated? I don't think it was everything, but I think it's Spider-Man 2, Horizon Zero Dawn remastered, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, and God of War Ragnarok will offer in-game content unlocks for users playing with a PlayStation Network account. So if you're on PC and you've got an account, you can get some stuff. I mean, it's not enough, really. It wouldn't make me necessarily run and jump to do it, but I also don't care about creating accounts for things like a lot of
you're also in a country that allows you to create an account.
Very true. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, this whole end of this, the next 2 years are going to be really, really like, how is it all going to shake out? And we're just going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to ride the roller coaster and find out. It's going to be fun. On the PlayStation front, continuing Sony-esque news, PlayStation Plus monthly games from February include Payday 3, High on Life, great game, Pac-Man World Repack, and they provided an additional update on PlayStation 4 games for PS Plus. And they stated on the PlayStation blog, as many of our players are currently playing on PS5 and have shifted towards redeeming and accessing PS5 titles from the monthly games and game catalog benefit. Now I'm wondering, they didn't say this bit, I'm wondering, remember when we last heard that half, like 48% of the audience was still on PS4? I'm wondering how true that still is. I'm willing to bet it's still around that 40% mark. And I'm wondering if by doing this, they're hoping, oh, I'm no longer getting free PS4 games. Time to upgrade.
Yeah, and
it wouldn't surprise me.
Mixed with that and GTA 6 coming out, and they're probably hoping that it's going to be, more like 80% on PS5. Yeah.
But yes, PlayStation Plus is also evolving with this trend and will focus on offering PS5 titles through the monthly games and game catalog benefits starting in January 2026. So you've got a while. You've got a while
through the rest of this year.
As we shift to PS5, PS4 games will no longer be a key benefit and will only be occasionally offered for PlayStation Plus monthly games and game catalog starting January 2026.
Yeah, so most
we
likely
may still provide titles that can be playable on both PS4 and PS5 consoles after this date.
Yeah, the PS4 games that just don't get a PS5 version because they don't need it. Like smaller indie stuff, I would imagine.
Indeed. But yeah, there you go. What else have we got? That's all the Sony news, I think. Capcom are up next then. It looks like they are hosting a Capcom Spotlight stream on February the 4th. So that's not far away. It's 5 days.
I was very surprised at one of the games in it.
It's 20 minutes long. It's going to be followed by a 15-minute Monster Hunter Wilds showcase. Obviously, that is this February's big Capcom game. It's coming out this year. So we're going to see 15 minutes of Monster Hunter Wilds, but in their general Capcom spotlight, we're also seeing Onimusha, Way of the Sword, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Which has been out for a long time.
It's been out for a very long time. Why would we be seeing that again? I wonder if it might be coming to a certain platform.
That would be the reason you'd think it would be in there, because I don't think that, unless they're going to announce crossplay for it, which would really save it, because their fighting collections all die online because they don't have crossplay. And so the only place you can end up finding people for the most part is Steam. And even there, it's really low user count. It's like a couple hundred a day. But yeah, people are really hopeful that the inclusion of an already released game in this stream of otherwise unreleased games is that it is coming finally, because they announced it and the Fighting Collection 2 of the arcade classics like Power Stone and a whole bunch of other ones. Hopefully we'll hear about the Xbox version. It'd be nice.
Yes, it would be nice. As I swear I saw that Dino Crisis 1 and 2 have been added to GOG and they have some modernization features on them.
They probably need it. Those games weren't good when they were new.
Yeah. That's interesting, I say. What else have we got?
This is one we talked about last week, but they hadn't actually put this part in. So it was the biggest. It ends up being the biggest news about this. Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 8 Insider Test Build brings split screen to Series S. They didn't say that they didn't say that on the insider page. They only said that in their tweet.
Is it bad that I've loaded this link and I immediately want to do some minor corrections to Chengus's headline?
No, his headlines are always way too long. For Google.
Cengus.
I wouldn't care, but Google cares. But yeah, so Baldur's Gate 3, their patch 8 is up for stress testing. It brings alongside crossplay, a bunch of new subclasses, other things, even though they're done with the game. It also brings split screen onto the Series S, which I wouldn't be shocked that optimization ends up helping across the board for how the game runs everywhere. Kind of like how Alan Wake 2 only has a performance mode because they had to get it working on Series S, and so they had to work really hard on optimization. But yeah, that was we talked about it last week, but they hadn't said that at the time yet. So I thought that's
a big surprise considering. Series S has got a lot to answer for this generation. Super chat from RF, who has dropped a couple of bucks our way to put into the XboxEra 5090 fund. Honestly, I've looked at some of the threads and the articles on it. I'm fine with my 4090.
Yeah, no, you are perfectly okay. You're good for years.
Several more years.
Yeah, I'm way more excited about it, not even just from a. I'm very curious to see what AMD can do versus NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is just like throw more power at it. But read the super chat.
I did read the super chat.
Oh, here's $2 to put to the XboxEra in the 5090 fund.
Yeah,
there
that's
you go.
what I just read. That's what
You
I
didn't
just
get
read.
to. I think I cut you off before you read it.
Oh, I think he said just buy it, John. I'm not doing it.
Well, I actually
refuse.
I messaged NVIDIA and did hear back from them, but we then didn't make the cut for early access. So I might try again, but also means I need a new power supply. I don't want that.
Yeah, it's a lot of faff in it. It's a lot of faff. We don't need all the faff. Next up in news, Age of Empires 3, still going all these years later. The definitive edition was doing quite well, but after careful consideration, it seems that Microsoft and the development team have decided that they are not going to do another DLC for Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. Writing on the Age of Empires website, they've said that please understand this decision was not made lightly. We apologize that we haven't provided updates to you since our announcement of the DLC. Whilst considering the inclusions for last year's show, we wanted to ensure that Age 3 Definitive Edition players felt part of the franchise celebration, as we know you have huge passion and love for the game. However, pushing to ensure that the game was included meant we announced content before it had been built, and we now feel that announcement was premature. We know this is a huge disappointment, and many of you were excited for more content. We were able to put out a patch for the game towards the end of last year, but understand it wasn't the size and scope you were hoping for. Whilst we won't be moving forward with this DLC content, we will continue to maintain servers, rotate civilizations through the free trial version, and provide customer support for any issues that you may encounter whilst playing. I read this as, you tell me if you think I'm wrong here, I read this as, we are done with this.
Yeah,
now.
this game, the ROI does not make sense. So we will not get a return commensurate to this investment. So sorry.
So that is the end. Fair enough, really. I mean, you've that's a hell of a run. So I'd just take it and be happy, really. You know? I mean, good for Age of Empires though. It's a long time franchise, and Microsoft have done pretty good. They brought Age of Empires 2 back into the modern era with modern stuff. 3, and they've released Age 4. How is Age 4 doing though? I haven't seen much.
Okay.
About it.
Two Definitive Edition is still like, I think, the thing people always point to.
It's the cult classic.
But yeah, I think AoE 4 has done well. They're both on console. I don't think 3 is. I don't remember.
No.
So
it
might be.
I think 3 is. I think they're all out.
Abdul, I hope 3 comes out.
I hope 3 comes
I just
to
remember
console.
2 and 4 being announced and never 3.
Yeah, and Mythology came out, so I wonder why 3 wasn't.
Because it was never that popular.
Yeah, so I guess they don't feel that bad about letting down like 5 dudes still playing Age 3 or something. Sorry, Age 3 fans. We were only joking. I'm only joking, all right? I'm sorry. Next up in news, Saber have announced a mud runner or construction-esque game called RoadCraft. You're a big mud runner fan.
That's why this is in there. This is from me and Jeff Grubb. It is essentially, it looks to be using a lot of the mud and snow runner mechanics and physics stuff, but instead of just being get from point A to point B or bring something back from point B back to point A type stuff, it is construction focused. It's coming out in a few months because they're putting stuff out unbelievably regularly in this series because they've got everything built up and it's just making content for it. Because they just did Expeditions, a mud runner game, which is the exact opposite. It really was just go out and get around and do stuff in pretty landscapes. So the mud runner games are all about, it's super hard to get around the terrain. Like in real life, you are off-road mudding, super physics heavy, getting around rocks, getting through mud, getting through sand, through shallow bodies of water. And yeah, they look great. They run really well. Like Expeditions looked and ran great. But this one is much more gamifying it, where you are running construction vehicles to do construction work. It looks really goddamn cool. Came out of nowhere. I immediately put in a request for a review copy, even though it's, I think, right in the middle of a bunch of other shit coming out. But why not?
I envy you sometimes. in your ability to be a kind of gaming chameleon and play so many different things. Like, unfortunately, rightly or wrongly, I'm one of those people that knows what I like. And, you know, sometimes I can be persuaded to try something new and I might end up liking it. But often I just know in my heart of hearts that this will not be for me.
Well, it's funny.
Like, I look at this and I'm like,
I streamed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I will just say, after 3.5 hours with that game, I, outside of nostalgia and the fact that it was made in Japan, have no idea how that game has a 92 on Opencritic, had been a 93. It's one of the cringiest, worst, like, it's mashing Japanese culture and anime direct, like, 1-to-1 with English, and it just doesn't work at all. It's painful to listen to. I remember Gene Park was very upset that the Aerith voice actress didn't win at the Game Awards, and I'm like, nothing against any of the actors. They can only do what's written and how they're directed, but that was painful to listen to. So it's not that I can just do anything. It's, I guess, just more overall. But this game looks great. If you're into the Mudrunner stuff at all and wanted more game and less, like, the game really was struggle to get to these points.
Struggle.
And there were some objectives and stuff like this. This is the most objective overall with a full-on construction system, and it looks cool.
Yeah. Good for them. I'm always, you know, I'm happy for people that like this.
It's very pretty.
It's not for me. Mind you, I've got enough to eat this year. Like, I am just chopping down games. So it's fine.
But you're going to have to get together with me to play for this 4-player co-op.
Well, in this?
Oh, yeah. These games have a lot of co-op. Yeah, they're fun. I mean, I reviewed Expeditions just playing alone because the multiplayer servers didn't actually work yet. But still, for anyone wondering, up to 4-player co-op if you want to.
It's funny.
Mud with your friends as you build.
While we were chatting, I pinged my what I confidently refer to as my XboxEra multiplayer review crew, which is my local friends here that occasionally dive in to help me out with multiplayer games. You will have seen some of their names: King Bartlett, X Tomcat X, and King Piccolo. These are, and of course, Grey Fox 91. Don't want to leave him out. But these are 4 longtime friends that are kind of local time zone to me. I've been gaming with them for 15, 20 years since Halo 2. It's how I met these people, right? We're real life friends now. And I just pinged them in our group chat on WhatsApp saying, hey, I've just seen this. I know you guys are into your Mudrunners, and they really are. Like, they play with wheels and everything. And it's like, it's really tiring, apparently. And straight away, it's like, oh, what else do you know about it? Like, you might be able to play with them. It wouldn't be for me, but I can lend them to you, maybe. But yes, there you go. RoadCraft coming soon. Next up in the news, MLB the Show for the first time in 3-4 years now. 3 is not going to be in Game Pass this year. Sony have announced via the PlayStation blog that the game is coming. It's shown off its cover overly, but they specify specifically in the blog that MLB will not be included in any subscription service.
And I'm curious, I think they've built up an audience, so now they're hopeful it'll sell, but also it's not coming to Xbox One or PS4, but it is coming to Switch, which is weird. I know. You also you muted yourself somehow. It is coming to Switch. So it's almost like, are they telling MLB, all right, you're going to lose. Thank God you unmuted for that. They are going to lose the Game Pass.
I thought I had muted. I think it's got confused. I thought I'd muted again. Nope. It's got confused. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I thought that, okay, you won't get the Game Pass money, but now you get the Switch money. So enjoy. That's the only thing I can think of.
It's weird. Or maybe when they write Switch, they really mean Switch 2, but they can't say that yet.
No. They said Switch. That means they're legally bound to the Switch.
No third party that's making software for the Switch 2 is allowed to say anything.
Well, this will be out before the Switch 2. A lot, and they would just say, and Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, maybe
later on or something. But no, they're making a Switch version and not putting it on last gen because who knows?
I expect that is a shame for people that liked playing MLB through Game Pass. 3 years on the trot is good runnings though. But end of an era, I guess. Yeah. Were you a big MLB fan? Did you enjoy playing MLB?
I mean, they were all right. I liked reviewing them, and then Sony got the publishing instead of MLB, and they stopped giving them to us, so I haven't played it.
I can see the chat wants to know if I've ever played the MLB games. Referencing my earlier conversation about sometimes I know games and just not for me, that applies to every sports game because I don't follow nor am interested in any sport. So, no, I've not tried the MLB The Show games. Nor do I care to, sir, is what I say to you. If you want to give me a quirky, interesting indie, I'm in. Sign me up. I'm all for it. But otherwise, speaking of games that make me go, Destiny 2 Heresy will feature a Star Wars collaboration. If you're wondering what Destiny 2 Heresy is, this is Destiny 2's third kind of episode thing.
Yeah, they're like
that's coming out in February.
Mini tiny expansions stuff.
Yeah, just trying to eke a little more cash out of your cash cows.
These look cool. They're very true to Star Wars. They're also all bad guys. Like if you just want to dress up as a stormtrooper, you want to get your inner Elon Musk on and just dress up as a stormtrooper, you can now do that as a Titan. You've got the TIE fighter pilot as the hunter, and you've got the Royal Guard as the warlock. Also a TIE fighter ship, it looks like in the background. I'm sure it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yep, I'm sure that's deliberately done.
It's a Death Star ghost shell.
Look, can we be honest about this? Can we? Don't buy this, Destiny 2 fans. Even if you're Star Wars fans, don't do it. That's bad.
It's their money. Who are you to tell them what to do?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I feel like games have been ruined a little bit by this sort of thing, but then we are in the Fortnite.
Well, you say that, but without it, there wouldn't be nearly as many games or single player games would be $100.
Yeah.
If you got rid of microtransactions, games would cost way more.
I don't like it.
But everyone else likes it. That's the problem. Nick likes it. All the people who play video games that aren't us really like microtransactions. They like playing dress up. It's what fuels them.
Don't like it.
It's their fault. I blame
I'm judging you.
Yeah.
I just know, dear viewer, I'm judging you, and not in a good way. I'm not, Anyway, it's the franchise's 10th anniversary last September, and they announced these new type of expansions as part of that kind of like, hey, 10th anniversary, here's the new way we're going to do updates, and this is one of them. So you're not going to have a big annual expansion now. 2 medium-sized ones with 4 major free content updates every year instead. It started in the summer of this year, so I guess this is the first one. And I think we've got, what have they said? This new model, and I'm quoting off of VGC here, will start the summer of 2025 with the release of non-linear, character-driven adventure, codename Apollo.
They have a much smaller team on Destiny, and they're doing what they can to keep it alive.
Fair enough. They're
all marathon boys now, or fired, or put into other parts of Sony.
All working on that. Because the
Gummy
Smash
Bears
Bros.
went to another studio.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like they went from 1,300 people to like 700 or something. Like it sucks. Getting bought by Sony wasn't great for them because their management was really bad. It was a bad purchase for Sony, who are now trying very hard, seemingly, to fix all of the issues that Bungie management had created over the years for themselves.
Yeah, that I think personally were evident way back even in the Microsoft days.
Throughout their entire history.
Yeah. Next news story.
Finally.
Yeah, I don't know. I might chuck so much stuff in because I don't want to end on this one. This one's weird.
You put it in.
I know I did. The owner of God
allegedly
is a geek.
Because they won't say. They won't say if he is. But his company owns them. He founded it, and his company owns it as far as you can tell. But all that God is a Geek has said is he has no editorial input. Pretty much.
So this is, I'm reading via Andy Robinson over at VGC. Former games journalist and God is a Geek owner Calvin Robinson, who went on to become a priest of all things, a prominent conservative influencer, of course, and spokesperson for the British right-wing political party UKIP, yikes, appeared at the National Pro-Life Summit on Wednesday, according to a video posted on social media. In the video, which has been watched over 10 million times, Robinson, in the words of his church, closed his comments with a gesture that many have interpreted as a pro-Nazi salute, seemingly imitating a similar gesture made by Tesla owner Elon Musk last week. Wow, it's almost like they've been completely emboldened by this new world that we're living in. In a statement posted on Elon Musk's social media platform known as Twitter, Robinson claimed the gesture was a joke. However, the Anglican Catholic Church, not associated with the Roman Catholic Church, thank you, Andy Robinson, criticized his actions and announced it had revoked his priest license. This is the weirdest headline we've read so far this year. So this weird video game guy linked to a video game website is no longer a priest. He has been defrocked for throwing a joke Nazi salute at a rally for the far-right political party UKIP. Keep your politics out of video games. Well, how about you keep your politics out of video games? Yeah,
it's keep the politics I don't like out of video games is what that statement always boils down to. Because art in video games themselves, everything in life can be inherently political. Everything can be politicized. It's just people who are like, I don't like that line of thought, so keep that out. And it's just very weird. We are in the dumbest, shittiest timeline I could have imagined. It's so dumb.
I just watched the clip, and he says, and look, did you watch this get clipped? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
No, you're not going to do it.
He says, as he does the gesture, he says, my heart goes out to them.
That was what Elon said. Yeah. He was saying, push too hard and then put hand out, even though it's
like you could do that. My heart, like if I did that now, you'd be like, yeah, but doing that and then raising it, anything.
But also, like,
what?
You would touch your heart and then you would actually hand it out because my heart's going to you, not the other thing. But yeah.
What in the world is going on? I don't understand. I don't understand when it happened. It's been happening for. I won't be able to help myself.
It's been happening for 30-ish plus years in earnest, especially since Reagan, like, and all them. That's when they really started it up hard. And unfortunately, with how influential America is, our other political party just kind of let it happen.
I don't like it. According to company records, LDN.CM is acknowledged as the owner of God is Geek, but it also says that it was dissolved in 2019. So it's not entirely clear if this chap, Calvin Robinson, owns the website or not.
Yeah.
The registration name for godisageek.com is listed as a private individual. When VGC reached out for clarification, God is a Geek stopped short of stating Robinson is no longer involved in the publication. It told VGC in a statement, Calvin Robinson has no involvement with the site on a day-to-day basis whatsoever. The editorial team will make no further comment.
Oddly enough, Abdul, I think they're one of the few that are not.
Yeah.
One of the handful. But yeah, not normally the type of thing you should ever joke about, I would just say. So obviously, trying to say it's a joke, no one's going to believe you.
Yeah. I guess what? I don't believe him.
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating stuff, if I'm honest. Bizarre. This whole world's gone absolutely crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Let me find a better story to end the show on, because that's just bonkers. Let me pick something fun.
I've got an announcement I can say later in the day. Keep an eye on social media.
You can't say that yet.
Yep.
You can't say that yet.
Nope.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'll talk about to wrap the show up.
Ooh,
in our last couple of minutes here. Arriving in a big box yesterday was retail finally off the shipping line. So what you dear viewer, will get if you backed Console Wars, the card game, last year, is what you will get when it arrives in the post to you in March. I nearly cried because honestly, after so much work, blood, sweat, and tears, it is awesome. Like, the final product is fantastic. It's everything. If I was a person just buying this off the shelf, I would be very, very pleased with the final product. And I think that speaks volumes. As someone who owns a lot of card games, I love the card quality. I love the box and everything. I'll be putting out a blog post on Kickstarter as an update later on today. And I will drop a little video of me unboxing it so you can have a little watch. But I'll give you a little tease because I love you guys. All right, it's just a little tease because it's sitting right here. Look at it. Get it, all of its cellophane glory. It's sealed, the sealed casket.
And we built an actual retail backing now, so it looks like it would when you're in a store.
Yes. So if you were to approach it on the shop shelf, you would see like, oh, what is this game? What are the cards inside it? Oh, look, it's got all the appropriate branding. Oh, if you're under 3 years old, don't stuff it in your mouth. Everything's there.
What's that little almost butterfly-looking icon, John?
Well, yes, I did talk about this in the blog post. You might see here, this guy, it says Booth Babe Games. And that is effectively a subsidiary of XboxEra because I didn't feel comfortable putting Xbox's name on a Console Wars product, but it's still made by us. All right. So there was a little sneaky hint there, right? But there it is. This is the finished thing. And your Kickstarted card will come in its own cellophane wrapped individual, and it's holographic. Look how pretty it is. Come on. Honestly, I'm delighted. And if you bought the Console Warrior Edition, you'll see that in the video, but it will come with the DLC pack. Look at that. Look, it's all cellophane wrapped, everything. I'm very happy. As you can probably tell, I am like a little cloud nine, but it's just, we're at the end of the journey pretty much. I've literally just got to wait for boats to go across oceans.
It didn't take years this time.
It didn't take years. I'm not bankrupt or significantly out of pocket. And it's a really good game. Like, I know it in my heart of hearts that when people actually play it, someone asked me to define it if I was going to describe it. And I would say to you that it's like poker, like the endless replayability and skill of poker, where, yes, there's luck involved in the cards, but there's also skill and bluffing your opponent. There's all those mixed with, the silliness of a Jackbox game. That's where I go with it. So, yeah, if you do buy a retail copy on Amazon, they're launching in April. Leave a 5-star review if you can. If you liked it, of course. I wouldn't want to manipulate the review system.
Well, I mean, that's all anyone ever does on Amazon is manipulate.
Mega boost.
Like, I bought a kitty water fountain and I immediately got give us a 5-star and we'll send you a shit ton of filters. And I was like, and then they just keep doing it. They're like, give us a 5-star, we'll send you another one of these. And it's another water filter. I'm like, I don't need another cat fountain. But yeah, no, that is
against the Amazon terms of service.
Yeah, but when you have 7,000 shell companies and they knock one down, you just swap to the next one.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yes, I am. I can just see the chat, Mr. Hipshot. I do actually smell the cards, I think, in the video, because the cards inside the cellophane wrap box are also cellophane wrapped. So when you open it up, it pops and you get the new card smell. Oh, it's good.
China.
Ooh, it's good. That's it. Other things to mention, a bit of housekeeping. If you haven't watched them yet, at the beginning of this week, we dropped 4 or 5 reviews on Monday, 4 of them as video reviews. 3 of those video reviews were all Game Pass games, which is Eternal Strands, Sniper Elite, Resistance, and Orcs Must Die.
Death Trap.
Death Trap, yep, thank you. So go check those out if you haven't. Go read the reviews, go click the articles, go like the things, because we need all of the engagement gubbins.
We have another review coming out today.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, is it for Ursels? Yeah. So we've got one more for another Game Pass title.
I mean, the game releases today, I'm pretty sure. So it would make sense to. The reviews aren't out yet. By the time the game is out, the review should be out.
Yeah. So you can look forward to that. And then I think tomorrow, I don't think there's a huge amount happening in particular.
You guys
tomorrow.
wanted to do a Sick and Nick's Flicks, but then never actually scheduled it.
I spoke to Mr. Nicholas on this. We are not going to do a Sick and Nick's Flicks because we've not discussed it enough to decide upon what movies we would watch.
I got to update to this week then because I put.
But we are going to record it instead, and he wants to start an hour earlier, so 9 p.m. my time. And I feel like we should do this as a live stream.
It would be, yeah.
We'll do it as a Hangouts, and then we'll replace the thumbnail later on with the Thanks I Hate It branding. But we'll do the first show of Thanks I Hate It with all three of us playing Sea of Thieves. So that'll be fun. So if you want a good laugh, we're gonna take Nick on the open ocean in the Sea of Thieves and see what happens. So tune in 9 p.m. UK time on Friday evening. I don't know what time that is.
9 o'clock your time would be 4 my time.
There you go. 4 p.m. EST, whatever that is, PST. And come hang out with us. And then obviously we'll be back for the Saturday podcast. I don't think we've got a guest this week. I might be wrong. I haven't been told otherwise.
Don't know.
Episode 248. 2 episodes to go until the big 250. Will you expect announcements on episode 250, Jesse? Do you expect things? It's a big moment, big episode.
I mean, I would know, and I'm not expecting anything really. So
wrong.
Whoa.
You can expect a refresh for the upcoming rest of the year's Patreon merchandise for our Patreon subscribers of those relevant tiers. In addition to, maybe we'll chuck some other surprises in there. You know what we're like. We just love you guys. We're just going to shower you with cool stuff.
We're going to wait until it's really late and then try and figure out something cool.
That sounds about like how we organize things around here, actually. Anyways, with that, I'll bring the show to the close. Thank you very much, Jesse, as always, for doing a wonderful job at making everything look cool. Big thank you to the chat for thumbs upping, liking, discussing, and generally behaving yourselves by being awesome people in our chat. And we'll see you soon. Ciao for now.
Gets rid of the pain of being a man. Caught here in a fiery blaze, won't lose my will to stay. I try to drive all through the night. The heat-stroke-ridden weather, the barren, empty sights. No oasis here to see. The sand is singing deathless words to me. Can't you help me as I'm starting to burn all alone? Too many doses and I'm starting to get an attraction. My confidence is leaving me on my own, all alone. No one can save me and you know I don't want the attention. As I adjust to my new sights, the rarely tired lights will take me to new heights. The trigger, I'm ready to ignite. Tomorrow might not make it, but everything's alright. Mental fiction, follow me. Show me what it's like to be set free. Can't you help me as I'm starting to burn all alone? Too many doses and I'm starting to get an attraction. My confidence is leaving me on my own, all alone. No one can save me and you know I don't want the attention. So sorry, you're not here. Stay. These eyes won't see the same after I flip today.